Welcome to my home and welcome to my channel. This is me, Christoph Key, laughing through life, single, gay, and sober. I'm super glad that you're here today. The topic that we're going to be discussing is celebrations, parties, and holidays sober. The quote for this topic is, "Making a big life change is scary, but do you know what's scarier? Regret." And that's by Zig Ziglar. I wanted to bring up parties, celebrations, and holidays as a topic because it's one of the first things that we think about when we first get sober. I was always used to throwing big parties for myself for my birthday and also attending every holiday party I was invited to. We can't help the urge to want to celebrate when we get a year older or to want to go celebrate the holidays with our family and friends. But how are we going to do this now that we're sober? Well, I've learned a few tips and tricks along the way and I want to share them with you. One piece of advice that I use often is this. If you're at a party or event and think that it would be more fun if you were drinking, then it's time to leave. There's a couple of things that I do that help me set myself up for success. If you know you're going to be in a stressful situation, you don't have to stay long. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to use Uber and Lyft. One thing that I like to do when I do go out is sip on a mocktail, and that usually consists of club soda, a lime, and a splash of cran. If you are going to drink a mocktail, make sure you put 2 or 3 straws in it so you know that it's your drink. And also, do not put it down. When it comes to being invited to things, it's important to remember that you don't always have to say yes. There were definitely times in my early sobriety where I felt way more comfortable at home. If you're not up for it, then you're just not up for it. I'm pretty sure that you don't plan on living your life in a box, and neither do I. But it's super important that we know how to set boundaries for ourselves. A huge thing about boundaries is that you have to tell people what they are and stick to it. A boundary that I set in my life is for my friends. When they come over to my house, alcohol is not allowed in my house. The reason for this is because I simply don't want to see empty alcohol things in my trash can. At the same time, I don't expect other people to change their normal routine just because of me. Even now, I end up in some pretty tough situations. I ended up at this one particular party where I was being spoken down to because I wasn't partaking in the party drugs. I don't know about you, but for me, that was something I was not used to. This person had no clue about me, my life, or my journey. Then I realized that that person wasn't thinking clearly, and also that their opinion didn't matter. I was a bit hurt that I was put in that situation, but what I decided to do was just get out of there. I called another friend and told them the situation. Within 25 minutes, they had picked me up and we were on our way to a great dinner. I had a few choices in that situation. 1, I could have partaked in the drugs and said screw sobriety. 2, I could have stayed and been super bitter and angry at everyone. Or 3, I could simply just get out of there and continue on with my life. I heard something once from a very young person in recovery that I think about often. And it's when someone says something nasty to you or does something mean, that person is hurting more than you are. That made a ton of sense to me. Hurt people hurt people. For me, it helps shake off whatever harmful action that person has done. Getting back to the celebrations. So one of my favorite celebrations is my birthday. I've actually got my 35th birthday coming up soon. Living in Colorado, there's a lot of activities that we can do, but my birthday's in January, so last year we went tubing and I found it super easy to not drink. This year, I'd like to host a big dinner party, but after doing some reflection, I realized I was doing that to please other people. In the past, I thought that having lavish dinners in my honor was just something that you did. I woke up just this morning and realized that we're gonna do what I want. Maybe a day at the museum, a small dinner, and the premiere of RuPaul's Drag Race. That may not be how you want to spend your birthday, but what I'm trying to say is you can find something fun to do that makes you happy. One thing that I noticed is that it was hard for my friends to accept the fact that I wasn't drinking on certain holidays. A perfect example of that, New Year's Eve. I got the classic, "But you're gonna drink on New Year's Eve, right?" To which I had to think about, am I gonna drink on New Year's Eve? Can I drink on New Year's Eve? The answer is no. That's not how it works. Something that ruined my life the way that alcohol did does not deserve real estate on my tongue. That's also a great moment to remember all the compliments you've been getting. I know your skin's looking good. People are noticing. It was a big pill to swallow, but at the end of the day, I realized that holidays are just normal days. Yes, most of them come with rituals and traditions, but that does not mean that you have to partake. It's really empowering to me to look around a room and know that I'm the only one sober. Not in judgment, just to see how far I've come. I got sober the day after the 4th of July, so let's just say it was an epic 4th. One thing I didn't think about, but I've noticed, is that a lot of people get sober the day after a holiday. Holidays are hard, people, but they don't have to be. Holidays and celebrations are supposed to be moments of joy. So find something that you find joy in, no matter what it may be. One thing new in my life is I love flying kites. All of my friends think I'm a little bit crazy, but it's something that I find so much joy in. Being tethered to something that's soaring so high just gives me an incredible feeling. Doesn't make sense to everyone, but it's not supposed to. Invest energy and time in things that make you happy. A perfectly acceptable thing to do instead of attending a party or celebration is send a gift or card. If the people in your life truly care about you, they are happier now that you're sober. At this point in my sobriety, I'm rarely tempted to drink. But if you're one of those people that thinks that they can get away with drinking or tries to sneak at times, I have a question for you. Who do you think you're getting away with it from? Is the high from that drink really worth the regret that you're going to feel later? I don't know about you guys, but I can beat myself up pretty bad in this head of mine. That mental stress of guilt was just not worth it. One thing that recently ran across my mind was how acceptable drinking is at celebrations such as weddings. I do a lot of wedding hair in my industry, so I see this all the time. A family spends thousands of dollars on an event, and then the day of gets so obliterated that they don't even remember it the next day. I want to be able to remember all the most important things in my life. Listen, people aren't going to stop handing you shots on your birthday or handing you glasses of champagne to toast, but what can change is your perception of how you celebrate. For me, birthdays now look different, and that's okay. When your life changes for the better, it's gonna look different. You should like how it looks. It's that time to wrap things up with our moment of gratitude. This week, I'm super grateful that I'm not allowing the pressures of others to affect my outcome. That can be hard for us people pleasers. At the end of the day, you are in charge of your own happiness, and I choose to be happy. Thank you guys so much for being here. Just know you're not alone, and I hope to see you next time. This is me, Christoph Key. Do you like me? Then make sure to like and subscribe for more videos.